Welcome everyone to episode 45 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Online, and we are currently in the middle of searching for Cid's airship. We've been recruited by Alphnaud to rebuild the Scions, and we need to find Cid's airship so that we can get to Garuda. But first, our search has been stymied by allegations that Lord Francel of House Haillenarte is a heretic, and because we spoke with him, it's merely just speaking with him. Unfortunately, we have been thrown under the same accusation, the same umbrella of possible heresy. So people are unwilling to work with us. So we, with the help of Lord Haurchefant, are shifting our focus to investigating the allegations and possibly clearing the good Lord's name. So, without further ado, let us go back up to the garrison and check in with Lord Haurchefant. Now, this zone as a whole does have a lot of fates, kind of like how Upper Lenosha does. So if you are within the levels of this area, this is another good area to grind if you don't necessarily want to do a dungeon. Following the Evidence. As I see it, the key to proving Lord Francel's innocent is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of the draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. So, it was found in a locked chest labeled as the property of Lord Francel. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here is what you must do. Return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Rickman. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Coerthas, so he may have some inkling who could be responsible. And there's our guy. Someone tampering with shipments. Fury struck me down. If all the rosaries found in our people's possessions were planted... Hey now, don't you give me that look, lass. I'm a House Haillenarte man through and through. This hearsay nonsense is bad for me and my family too. I ain't saying the porters what were bringing the shipments did it, though. I know most of them that work the trade routes, and I've never had cause to question their faith. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it... Could have been the fellas that were responsible for the inspections? Ishgardian knights and inquisitors, the lot of them, as if they'd ever turn their cloaks. Reckon that means the porters are your most likely suspects. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew coming to Camp Dragonhead from Whitebrim Front as this eve. You might consider having a word with them. Alright, and back up to the garrison we go. beg your pardon. You suspect that we porters have been planting draconian rosaries in House Haillenarte shipments? What nerve! If you truly believe such nonsense, search our parcels and see what you find. You find another draconian parcel. Someone is definitely planting stuff. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. May want to think again. But that's impossible. Once the knight at Whitebrim Front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. And if I had been the culprit, I would have never allowed you to search my shipments. Say what you will to Lord Haurchefant. I will not be held accountable for this. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard shouting. Ah, but more importantly, what did Rickman have to say? I don't like what we found. More draconian rosaries? In every single parcel bound for Skyfire locks? That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Haillenarte's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. And praise alone that he did. Lord Frensel's trial is upon us, and we must act now if we are to clear his name. So on a side note, both our classes are now level 40, so both our warrior and our dragoon are up for their level 40 class quests, but those will be done off camera. But you will have class quests up until level 50 for our Realm Reborn every 5 levels. In the eyes of gods and men, Lord Haurchefant needs your help to clear Lord Frensel's name. From the very first, I knew it could not be that so many members of House Haillenarte were heretics. At last, we can give the lie to these poisonous allegations and put an end to this travesty. I will need to prepare a formal statement regarding these developments for the Holy See. In the meantime, I would have you bear my words to Inquisitor Briggy. Tell her that House Fortemps asks, nay, demands that Lord Frensel's trial be postponed until a full investigation has been conducted. So it looks like whoever it is behind us. Down this alleyway, maybe? Nope. So a person is up on the Aetherite landing, right in the corner here. And we'll see how ballsy of a move this is. What is it, my child? Lord Haurchefant will have the Inquisitors do what? But that's not possible. Inquisitor Guglielmi presides over Lord Frensel's trial at Witchdrop even as we speak. Fear not. If Lord Frenzel is indeed innocent, he shall walk in Halone's halls with the fallen heroes of Ishgard. So it really matters not whether he's guilty or not. This someone's looking to off the Lord and disgrace his name. They have taken Lord Francel to witch drop. This is madness. The Inquisitor does not have sufficient grounds to subject him to that manner of trial. I will not stand idly by and allow an innocent man to die, Lightbringer. I will dispatch you and one of my knights to Witchdrop to forestall the proceedings until such time as I am able to join you and petition Inquisitor Guglielme in person. I will endeavor not to keep you waiting too long. Do whatever you must to keep Lord Francel alive. Hail, Lightbringer. As you can see, Lord Francel yet lives. We must try to reason with the Inquisitor, but if his guards judge us a threat, we must also be prepared to defend ourselves. Your sin, Clermont Francel de Haillenarte. You stand accused of heresy against the Holy See of Ishgard. Is there aught you wish to say in your defense? Hear me, brothers. These charges are false. The men and women of my line have ever opposed the Dravanians, and I am no different. Since the very birth of our nation, we have gladly shed blood in the service of the Holy See. Condemn me, and you will strike a blow for the enemies of Ishgard. It is for Haillenarte to judge if you speak the truth. Prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men. Leap from the cliff and entrust your fate to the Fury. The righteous shall take their place in Haillenarte's halls, while the wicked shall reveal their Drachen forms and be put to the sword. In the name of House Four Temps, I beseech you, stay your hand. Inquisitor, we have come on behalf of Lord Haurchefant. My lord has uncovered evidence which suggests that the charges against Lord Francel are without merit. We humbly request that these proceedings be suspended until such time as a full examination of the facts has been conducted. Lord Haurchefant has allowed his personal relationship with the accused to cloud his judgments. That he should harbor private doubts, I might have allowed, but that he would dare interfere in legal proceedings sanctioned by the Holy See, I cannot. To defy the will of an inquisitor is to commit heresy, a crime for which there is but one punishment. We must hold them until Lord Haurchefant arrives, Lightbringer. And remember, no harm can come to the Inquisitor. As always, take out the healer and the ranged attacker before you take on the tank. the name of House 4 attempts, I demand you lay... Oh well. And look what we found. It is not our intention to defy the will of the Archbishop. But this trial, like many others I fear, has been orchestrated by enemies of House Haillenarte. They have used you and your fellows to sow discord, Inquisitor, to set brother against brother, that we may tear ourselves apart. The fervid imaginations of a desperate man. What proof have you of this? By the Fury, a draconian rosary. Then the knight who refused to yield, it was he who summoned the Werven. A heretic in the ranks of the Temple Knights. This has grave implications. Your claims would appear to have merit. Lord Haurchefant, I shall withdraw my charges against Lord Francel, pending further investigation. I trust you have not lost sight of which first brought you to Coerthas, Lightbringer. Pray, locate your airship and use it. Lord Haurchefant, I have not the words to express my gratitude, but why would you risk your reputation to save mine? Because I know you, boy. You're too loyal to betray Ishgard, and too devout to question your sentence. Had we been any slower, you'd have jumped of your own free will. I would have done whatever it took to redeem House Haillenarte. Praise alone, it did not come to that, but it profits us little to dwell on what might have been. Let us quit this place, Lightbringer. Pray, come visit me at Camp Dragonhead once you have recuperated. You look well, Lightbringer. May I say what a pleasure it was to fight alongside such a fearless and skillful warrior. Were it not for you, Lord Francois would surely have died defending the honor of his house, and I might well have perished at the hands of a heretic and his Werven. House 4 Temps and House Haillenarte shall never forget your service. Now let's return to the matter of your missing enterprise. The final flight of the Enterprise. The man with knowledge of the Enterprise awaits you outside. I pray his information proves useful to you. There's our guy. How quickly the commoners' opinions change. They say Lord Francel is innocent now, but just a few days prior. Anyway, you were inquiring as to the whereabouts of an airship last seen in Coerthas several days before the calamity, yes? Well, it so happens that I was monitoring the night sky in the observatorium during that period. I recalled that a small vessel came from the direction of Gridania and landed near the stone vigil in the far northwest. The garrison almost certainly seized the vessel and brought it within their walls. If so, then you would need an army of knights to have any hope of securing it. Though Lord Haurchefant is, from all indications, quite fond of you, so mayhap he can lend you a few? In any case, I have done my part. I shall pray for your success, friend. So, we finally get a solid lead. Oh, so you've located the Enterprise. I believe congratulations are in order. Wait till you hear. The Stone Vigil? Perhaps I spoke too soon. The outpost has been held by the dragons for years, and all access is restricted by decree of House Haillenarte. I will write a letter to Lord Drillamont of Whitebrim Front and request that he grant you permission to enter. That said, I fear my influence alone will not suffice, so I suggest that you request Lord Francel to do the same. Now that your business in Camp Dragonhead is concluded, I suspect we may not meet again for some time. I wish you well in your journeys, Lightbringer. May Halone guide you. And we'll run into him again. The main quest is not finished with us coming in and saying hi. Wonderful to see you again, Lightbringer. If there's anything I can do to repay you, name it. So the airship you seek is likely inside the Stone Vigil. It shames me to say that it too was once an outpost held by House Haillenarte. In the chaos that followed the calamity, the Dravanian horde caught us unawares. The fiends have held the outpost ever since. As we lack the strength of arms to retake the Stone Vigil, House Haillenarte instead has been charged with the duty. Given that, I doubt that my words will carry much weight with Lord Drillamont. Nevertheless, I will write you your letter. Before you depart, a word of caution. The cravens who attempted to destroy House Haillenarte have yet to be unmasked. Though their plans were foiled, they doubtless will still harbor great hatred towards us, and towards you now as well. Yeah, something tells me we're not done with this Lord Guilliame. Okay, we now have to go to... We now have to go to another fort called Whitebrim Font that is directly west of the garrison Camp Dragonhead. Okay, as soon as you enter in Camp Dragonhead, turn to the right, or turn to the left, and continue. I don't know why I have my left and rights mixed up today. So as said a couple of episodes ago, this is the entrance to Ishgard itself. This is the Judgment Gate. Let's go get a bit closer here. So yeah, this is the entryway to Ishgard itself. Now, unfortunately, we are not an Ishgardian citizen, nor do we have permission to continue to go into Ishgard itself. So this is as close as we can get right now, and the guard, the two people here will tell us as much. But eventually we will be able to cross into Ishgard, but that's not a ways off yet. Anyway, we will continue to White Brim Front. Here's our guy. You desire an audience with Lord Drillamont, do you? Ha! I desire a night in a warm bed with my wife, but wishing won't make it so. What if I handed you these? What do you have here? Letters from Lord Haurchefant and Francel, is it? A likely... Oh, you're serious. What to do? What to do? So, welcome to White Brim Front. We still have business with the Gate Guard in order to see Dromont. Not certain how well that's going to go. But anyway, we're going to save that for the next episode. So, we have found the location of the airship. It is most likely inside a fort called the Stone Vigil. However, that fort is held by the enemy of Ishgard, so we most likely will not get permission right away. We're going to have to do some favors for Lord Dromont before we're able to get into the Stone Vigil, and something inside me says that we've also not seen the last of the Inquisitor. So. Continue next time as we dive deeper into the mystery here and see if we can get our dear airship back. But until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.